Hiya, my name's Danny. I'm going to be doing a creative dance session with you. We're going to follow the story of Peter Pan. Okie dokie. Right, we're going to get started. Before we do, just make sure you've got a nice clear space. If you have enough space to reach up, out and lie on the floor, that's great. If not, you just need to adapt anything. Okay, if I'm doing something that's really big, you can make it a little bit smaller. Just make sure you've got some water nearby and any clothes that you're wearing are just stretchy and comfy for dancing in. We're going to get started by doing a bit of a warm-up, but before we do, for this session, we're going to use a couple of different props. So if you've got a small ball that's squishy or a small soft toy, can you go and grab that now? And also a piece of material, so it can be a bit of ribbon, a shoelace, or even a bit of cloth. Okay, that's it. Okie dokie, we're going to start with a warm-up and we're going to mobilise through all our joints, but we're going to start on the floor. So if you can sit with your legs crossed, and we're just going to start pretending to wash our hands, okay? So rubbing your hands together and up into the forearms and back to the hands, and we're going to shake it off. So we're going to shake the hands and we're going to reach up high and to the sides and any direction that you want, so we can go all over, all the arms, and bring it in, holding the hands. Just give your wrists a little roll, so going from side to side, and separate the hands and just give those fingers a little wiggle. So this is our spaghetti, and we'll make meatballs, making fists with our hands, and just give them a little circle. And go different ways, and bring them back together, just really circling round. Good. And we're going to relax the hands, looking down and up, so we'll look down to the floor, and up, and again, down, and up, side to side, so one side, and the other side, and again, back to the middle. Shoulders up and down, up and down, up and down. One shoulder at a time, up and down, up and down. And a little bit quicker. And relax. Good. We're going to stretch your legs out in front. And squish up forwards. Hands on the floor. We're going to do some little bounces. So we're going to go up and down. And on 3, we're going to do a big jump and stand up. 1, 2, 3. And up. Lovely. Reaching tall. And wide. And then reach down for your toes. And standing tall. Okie dokie, we're going to do something now that's going to get us nice and warm. You're going to stand with your feet underneath your hips, okay? So they're not really close together, but they're not really wide apart either. So just nice and comfy underneath your hips. Okay, we're going to start with some bounces of the knees. So we're bending and stretching the knees. Make sure that your knees are going over your toes. We do 8 of these. Then we're going to jump up and down. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to do 8 runs, okay? So those runs can be on the spot. If you've got space, you can travel them, or if you can change direction. So we're going to do 8 runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whatever direction that you like, and then we just repeat it all again and again. So when we're ready, find a nice comfortable position, starting with our 8 bounces. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Find another direction, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another direction. 6, 7. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jumps. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Run. 3, 4. One last one. And bounce. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, jumps. 5, 6, 7, run. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. And breathe. Okay, we're going to explore the story of Peter Pan today. So, some of you might know the story, some of you might not, but we're going to start at the very beginning, and it starts at the Darling household, okay? At night time. I'd like you to find a position that you're quite comfortable in, like you're sleeping. So that can be standing up. It could be sitting down. It could be sitting in a chair if you have one, or you could be lying on the floor. And I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the story to start with. So, in the Darling household, we have 3 children. We have Wendy, who is the eldest child, okay? She is the tallest. So I'd like you to make yourself as tall as you can. As tall as you can, like Wendy. And then we have Michael, who's the middle child. So we're going to make ourselves a medium size. And then we have John, who's the youngest child. So we're going to make ourselves as small as you can. So we have Wendy, and Michael, and John. A bit quicker. Wendy, Michael, and John. Good. Make yourself comfy again. So every night, Wendy tells her two younger brothers a story, and she tells them of the adventures of Peter Pan. So that night as they're going to sleep, and she tells them the story of Peter Pan, who lives in Neverland. And he is with his friends, the Lost Boys, fighting his enemy, Captain Hook. And she tells her younger brothers this story every night. That night, as they go to sleep, they're woken up in the middle of the night by a strange noise. So everybody's waking up. So have a big stretch and just have a sit up for me really slowly. Like you're waking up in the morning. So as they're woken up by that strange noise, they see a shadow in the corner of a boy. And they realise it's Peter Pan. So they turn on the lights, but he's not alone. So we're going to stand up. He is with his fairy, Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell is a tinker fairy, and she uses her pixie dust to fix things in Pixie Hollow, okay? So we're going to pretend to be a pixie fairy, a tinker fairy, and we're going to fix some things. So I want you to imagine that you're picking something up off the floor, and you're going to fix it together, and you're going to put it away, okay? So you're going to take something from somewhere, you're going to put it back together. You might do that in a different way, okay? So it might be something that you can fix and put away. Something that Tinkerbell does is she uses her pixie dust to fix things, okay? So you might want to sprinkle a bit of pixie dust. You can use it like glue. And you're going to put it away. Put it away. Pixie dust. Now, one more thing. And put it away. Okay, so Wendy, Michael and John have woken up and they've seen Peter and they've seen Tinkerbell, and they ask them why they're here. And Peter Pan tells them that he's been coming to listen to their stories every night of his adventures, but he's lost his shadow, okay? So if you have a torch or a source of light, we're going to use this now, okay? And we're going to look at our shadow. So if you turn your torch on, and maybe just start with your hand, and I want you to imagine that your shadow has a mind of its own, it's its own thing, okay? So like Peter Pan's shadow that's escaped from his body. So you're going to create a shadow on the floor. You can get closer to the floor or the wall and start to move the shadow. See what shapes you can make. You can come away. So you can make your shadow really small or really big. So you can start to move the light around. You can maybe see where else you can make shadows. So it might be on a wall or a piece of furniture. You might be able to create a big shadow. And you can change light from different directions. If you place your torch down on the floor, you might be able to create a shadow of your whole body. And you can make your shadow dance and move. You can get close to it, so you might want to make your shadow look less like your body. You might want to try and make it look like something else. You can use really small parts of your body to create a big shadow. And you can get closer to the light to cover it. Lovely, really nice, good. And when you're ready, just turning off your torch. Brilliant. Okay, so they helped Peter Pan catch his shadow, and he had it back with him now. And they asked whether they could go with him to Neverland. And he said yes, but you have to fly. And when they asked, how do we fly? You use pixie dust. So if we're going to start to learn to fly, I want you to just start by imagining maybe just your hands starting to fly. So it suddenly feels really light and it's lifting. And then maybe your other hand. So ever so slightly. And maybe another body part, a leg, and the other leg. So you start to feel kind of light, like you're walking on clouds. And then maybe your whole body starts to move and feel like it's flying. So you can fly in any direction that you like. You can start to travel. And we're going to set off out of the window. We're going to start our journey to Neverland. Now we've learned how to fly. Can you try and move a little bit quicker? Can you fly quicker? In different directions, can you change your pathway? Can you fly in a circle? Can you find stillness, but still feel like you're flying? And we're almost there, so just keep it moving. Finding your way through the stars. And when you're ready, finding your way down to Earth. And we're going to land on Neverland, so really slowly, just finding your way down to the ground. So now we've landed on Neverland, and we're going to start to have a little bit of an explore. We're going to meet Peter's friends, the Lost Boys, okay? So, the Lost Boys have a game called Following the Leader, okay? So I'm going to be your leader. And I'm going to give you a few different words and we're going to follow them. So we're going to travel around the island with the Lost Boys. So I just want you to start by walking, okay? So imagine walking. You can look around. You can walk on the spot. You can do different pathways. And then maybe we'll try and run. So we want to see it a little bit quicker. Can you run fast? And we're going to approach some water. So I want you to think about swimming. You can swim low. And as we're coming out of the water, I want you to think now about crawling. So you've got to move on a low level. Imagine there's something above your head. So you might need to roll across the floor. On a low level, how can you travel on a low level? So as low as you can go. As we're coming up, we're going to think now about swinging. So swinging from trees. Can you imagine that there's vines above you and you're trying to swing from them? In different directions, wherever you want to go. And we're going to stop there, and we can see in the distance, we've come to the sea now, and we can see a pirate ship in the distance. So we're just going to wait there for a second. So in the distance, we've seen a pirate ship, and on that pirate ship, we know that that's where Captain Hook lives, who's Peter Pan's enemy. So we all start to hide. Us and the Lost Boys, we're going to start to hide behind some trees. So I want you to imagine that you're trying to hide behind something. And we're going to really slowly move now. We don't want to be seen. So I want you to imagine you're trying to creep really slowly and quietly around your space. So just staying really small. Just passing through the trees, through the bushes. And stay really low and really quiet. And just when we think we've got away with it, we turn around and there are a load of pirates behind us. They take us to the ship. And we're going to imagine now we've been tied up around a post. And we're looking around us and we're thinking, where's Tinkerbell? So we wait. And wait for her to come. As Captain Hook looks at you and says, you've got to walk the plank, okay? And he brings you out. And you start ever so slowly walking out on that edge. Keeping your balance. And just as you get into the edge, you just stop for a second as Tinkerbell is coming down. And she sprinkles her pixie dust so we can fly, okay? So we just start again to fly. So it's ever so slowly thinking about being light. And we start to take off and she sprinkles her pixie dust over everybody. And to escape from Captain Hook, we all return back home. So I want you to imagine traveling again. You can travel however you like. You can travel quickly or slowly with everybody. When you're ready, we're going to come back in through the window and you're going to get back down into your bed. So finding your comfy position, wherever that is, and we can finally go back to sleep. Well done, everybody. Thank you for dancing with me. We're now going to do a little bit of a cool down and a stretch, okay? So we're just going to start by reaching really tall, so as tall as you can. Stretching up high. If you can, we're going to go up onto our toes, so we're going to reach even taller and relax. And now we're going to stretch out to the sides. So we're going to lean one way, and then the other way, and one more each way, and centre, reaching down towards the floor. Hold it there, try and keep your legs straight. Going to bend the knees now, bring them into the chest, and you're going to sit on your bum and stretch your legs out forwards, okay? Just relax your feet. I'm going to lean ever so slightly forwards. Hold it there for a couple of seconds. And sitting up really tall. Swing your legs behind you now. And just laying on your front. Just pick your head up ever so slightly. Keep your arms bent and just stretching out your back a little bit. Shoulders pushing down. And lying down again. Roll onto your back one more time. Lovely. And then just find your way to sitting up again. Onto your knees. And rolling up through the spine. So bring your head up last until you sit up really tall. Lovely. Thank you.